Kyokan, also known as Corvus Cornix, and welcome to YACC, yet another Crowcast where I pick a game, I play it for a week, and then I talk about it. This week's game is Wearwolf: The Last Warrior, made by Data East in the 1990s, and also there'll be spoilers up ahead, but just so you know. But first, a little backstory. I'm sitting here with my brother again, Tryhead, and we...
That's not important. You should leave it.
Leave it out, yeah. And, I think our parents bought us this game from this store called New Stuff. And the weird thing about games back then is you didn't save like the boxes or manuals and stuff, but I think we bought this, the mom or dad bought us and didn't get like the box or manual or anything.
Wasn't that game in particular from The Neighbor?
It might have been.
I think it was.
Yeah, because back in the day, they have like these markers that they put on their NXS cartridge, and who the fuck is MJ?
Yeah,
made that joke before. Probably The Neighbors.
Most likely.
Yeah. But anyway, we got this game, and the weird thing about this game, I played it on Emulator because I don't have a NES.
Yeah, I did too.
So,
but we do have it on the NES.
Yeah, back in the day, yeah.
You and I, it's not here, it's not at my place, but I think our mom has it, in
the chest.
In the chest, yeah.
Yeah, but the thing about this game is, when I started playing, I thought it was something wrong with my controller. I play on a PS4 controller, just Bluetooth or whatever cable in, and I could swore you jump on the A button, but the buttons are reversed.
Are they?
Yeah, so maybe it's like the PAL version is like reversed,
yeah.
And the NTFC version, the American version, is not. I don't know, but I was like, I could have swore I mapped my controller to this, and it's like, well, no, we did, dumbass, or whatever. But yeah, so let's talk about the game then. So the game starts with you out in the wilderness, and you encounter this guy that is like a changeling like yourself. So this game, I wrote it down. I didn't have the manual, so I have to look it up. There is a plot. I looked up on Wikipedia. This thing takes place on Red Earth, the second colony planet, and there's this.
Very important.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. And there is this evil doctor called Therion or something. And he creates these mutants, bosses, and he enslaves the population. And then you come in, this guy from a tribe. Your name is Ken, and you're a changeling. You can turn into a werewolf. So that's the plot of. But it doesn't matter. I think if you let like the game run, it start to show like the
story. Cinematic.
Yeah,
thing.
but as a kid, you want to press every button I want to play.
I thought it was actually really cool. If you got the game to work, on that piece of shit, then there was like a little cinematic piece if you didn't press start.
Yeah.
It was like, oh! And it was actually really, I liked the animation. It was a little stroby, of course. So that's not good, but
I like the between the stages when you defeat a boss, you get like one of those title cards that's scrolling like a cutscene, and the thunder strikes with this cheap effects, but it's like a cool. I think
lame 8-bit
thunder imitations, but I think that's cool. But anyway, you start out in the wilderness, and you're supposed to fight these kind of. This is like a first boss.
They're mini bosses, like the hulking little.
Yeah, they look like wrestlers.
Yes,
with like something to cover up their genitals, I guess. And there's like the sheep thing. There's like a blue one. There's like a red one, but they behave the same. I think it's due to the color palette of the NES.
Yeah, and
so
they might be how do you say, like slight changes. The light, like the blue one, can be maybe a little quicker, or I think the purple one could jump really high.
Yeah.
But it's just a little mini boss, and then when you fuck those guys up, then in the beginning, I was like, "Oh, what's this?" But then you can.
Yeah. So obviously you defeat the first wrestler or whatever, and you get a red W, like an icon, and when you approach it and take it, I guess, step on it, you turn into a werewolf. So this mechanic is like the werewolf is like faster and stronger and can jump higher. And there's this funny thing. I didn't know about this, but if you hold the attack button as a human, you're a human in the beginning, he shouts no. And it's a form of attack. It's really ridiculous, and you can do the same with the werewolf. Like you lose life on by doing so, but it's like thunder comes down and you hurt like everything on screen.
Oh.
So we didn't have the manual, so it's kind of obvious. I was like watching a speedrun, and I was like, what is he doing? He's shouting at this guy and killing him, like, no. And the guy, I was like, what?
Caesar. No. From the planet. Attack. New one. That's the name of the movie.
Attack no what?
No, Ape Attack. No. Planet of the Apes.
Oh, yeah. Planet Ape Attack no one. Yeah, that's a better title.
Fucking never mind.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. But anyway, so you traverse the level and you wind up at this. I don't know if it's like before or after, but there's like this place when you're there are like spikes on the floor. So you're supposed to grab, like, you can climb on things, you can stick to walls and climb, you can stick to the ceiling, but there's this finicky timing on the controller.
It could be, it's like, it always amazes me with some of the old games, because they were like, well, here you go, you have the cross, the stair cross.
Yeah, the D-pad,
yeah, and then start select and BA, because
that's it.
Everyone knows that B comes before A. Yeah, BA.
I never thought of that, but that's obvious. Like
that's fucking stupid. But and then like
Japanese people, don't they read from like left to right, like manga? No, like but you read the manga book like in reverse, right? Maybe they read the
backwards. People.
I gotta get some flack on that one, but whatever.
No, of course not. But it was fascinating every time you picked up a game that actually had some control schemes.
Yeah. And there's
that game has that.
And it has like a hidden thing, or well, if you had a manual, probably says. But if you double tap the both A and B button, he does like a summer backflip kind of thing, and you have some invincibility frame. So instead of grabbing onto the ledge or the roof or whatever, I always do like a back flipping thing. You lose like 1 bar or whatever.
You had to do that in certain sections.
Yeah. The section coming up is like there's like this laser, electrical kind of thing. You have
currents, so you have to step through it. And if you go, then you get electrocuted, and the life just.
Yeah, so there's like a trick to that. My friend Hiro, get on the Hiro. I've talked about him before, but he plays Game Boy games and NES games. He's completed over 300 Game Boy games on stream, which is cool.
Oh yeah.
So he plays NES too, and I saw him pick this game up. And it's kind of amazing. You see like a learning curve. First he's like dying, and it's like, okay, there's an extra life here, there's some power-ups here, and he completes the game in under 10 hours or 5. I can't remember, but it's like amazing.
He's a good gamer, right?
It's part of his pastime. He collects game and plays.
Some of us don't evolve. Like when I pick up an old game, it's like, oh yeah, this game. Oh, I suck at it now, and I sucked at it back then.
Yeah.
Cool. Except a couple of ones, like Super Mario Bros.
Well, I mean, that's like ingrained in the muscle memory and everything. So it's Mario.
Exactly. Those games were meant to be played like basically by everyone.
Yeah.
And if you just kept at it, you could beat it.
Mm. Yeah, well, that's true. But anyway, I saw him beat it on stream and everything. Took a couple of days, but it's kind of cool, getting to levels that you haven't even seen before. And the end boss is like this guy called Freyan or whatever, and he drinks a potion. He turns into exactly like you, but a lighter color, like a werewolf. So it
has the same attack patterns and stuff.
I don't remember. He shoots lightnings and stuff from the sky, and he has a second form, I believe. There's like a fake out credit when it starts to roll, and
cool.
And he's like, well, I was thinking, well, there wasn't like a second phase. Sure it was. And then you beat him, and it's like this funny, like one of those cutscenes. He stands with an American flag, and it's like, what the fuck? and I forgot about it. I watched a speedrun of it, but I didn't get that far. I think I got to the jungle part with the waterfalls. I beat like the goo monster in the toilet, in the sewers. that green kind of goo thing, and I beat there's like this guy, other boss that kind of sprints. And there's some weird pickups, like you get these power-ups as well. If you get like a blue W, that actually reduces your health as a human, and if you're a werewolf, it turns you back into human.
Yes.
So it's kind of stupid mechanic. If you lose half your life as a werewolf, you turn into a human, and the human sucks at every level because he can't jump high, he can only punch and scream no. Yeah.
Curl up in a little ball.
Yeah.
Piss himself.
But it's kind of a weird thing they brought up on the speedrun that I watched. Like, for some reason the human can't crawl through tight spaces.
But that's a duck walkie thingy.
Yeah, but he can crawl. But the werewolf can crawl. So maybe the human is afraid of getting dirty or something.
It's just better to be a werewolf all the time.
All the time.
Just like in real life, you know.
Yeah. When I go outside, I always change into a whatever. I've got to get some groceries now. That'll be 25.
Well, it makes people stay the fuck away too. So
yeah. Good at these times, I bet. Well, but whatever. It's like, what was I going to say? Yeah, the power-ups. There's this other thing. If you collect like a red W and turn into a werewolf, if you go to other places, like you can punch signs and like canisters and power-ups will pop up.
It's just like in Castlevania. You can make that reference. I did it in my head a lot because it's like if you punch things, then items come out. And
yeah.
It sort of has a very Castlevania feel to it.
I mean,
you have knockback too, right? Like if you get hit.
Yeah, by certain things, yeah.
Yes.
Like the sewers, it's terrible. You jump through these streets.
Every sewer level in every game is terrible.
Well, there's like an exception if you have played like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when you're on these scooter things.
Yeah.
But I guess that's not walking like in a sewer. You're riding like a ride. You fight a crocodile, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the sidetrack. I mean, you're probably right about. People complain about water levels in general.
Water levels and sewer levels are usually like, oh fuck, you know.
But in this game, it's actually better to go down into the sewers than go topside because on this like second stage is like in the city and there are punks on skateboards and people throwing dynamite.
Yeah.
And it's like, what is this city? It is like I don't even know the name, but it's kind of funny. It's crawl down the.
It's fucking game designers. They're like, oh, I don't want to go outside. I just want to sit by my computer.
It makes sense to hide in the sewers if you actually are a werewolf. Like, stay away from people.
Yeah, or a fucking
maybe they're just like afraid of him because he's different. I never thought of it that way, but I got sidetracked again. I was talking about the power up. So if you grab a W, you turn into a werewolf. But
if it's the red one.
Yeah, but if you like punch canisters and whatnot and signs and whatnot, instead of like a red W, you get like these like glass orbs. And if you collect 5 of them, you turn into a hyper wolf or whatever. So that it hits harder and everything is even faster. So you want to stay at that sweet spot where you don't lose life and you just keep that ferocious thing. It's really good at bosses to be like fully powered up.
Have you finished this game?
I haven't, but I thought I told you I got to the jungle area.
Oh yeah, you did.
With the waterfalls and stuff. But I watched a lot of it like stream wise, so I know the levels. There's like this kind of weird level where there's like cages and stuff. It's nearly to the end, and there's some powerful enemies there. You just avoid them, and there's like this funny glitch where they kind of hop down to the bottom of the screen, but they don't die. They just keep hopping up from like the ledge of it.
Yeah,
it's these stupid things. But if you fall down, you die. Obviously,
that's interesting actually, because like most enemies just have this pattern that they're following and attack in a way that they're programmed to attack you.
Yeah.
So like, oh, this guy's gonna kill himself.
No, he didn't die because he wasn't programmed to die.
Exactly. But it's like if you think about it, like with the Ninja Gaiden, for instance.
Oh, that's also a game that Hero have beaten. I don't know how he does it. He clears it without save states. It's crazy.
It's hard. It's very hard, and
it's not impossible, by the way. But it's just
hard. No, it totally isn't. We played it with an old friend of mine a couple of years back, and we got far. We played it on the old Nintendo too.
I think it has like if you die at a stage, you have to start at the beginning of that.
Exactly.
So you have like if you have like three levels in that stage or whatever. If you die at the end, you have to go through all of it. So it's forgiven like that. It's not game over that you have to restart from the beginning.
No, and you gotta give, like, for instance, with this game that we're talking about, it's clever programming, and that's always something to look forward to when it comes to, like, and that's what gets your attention, you know. If you have a game that is like, that's why I brought up Ninja Gaiden, because it's like, it's just cheap.
Cheap death, you mean?
Yeah. The enemies are like stupid, but they respawn. If the enemy could have been smart like that, he jumps up. He can't go down. Like, and And that's like, okay, I can totally fucking respect that. But when something respawns or you get cheated by the system of the game, and that's especially with the 8-bits, it's like either it's hard because it's a hard game, or it's hard because it's badly programmed. Sometimes a combination of both, and then you just want to cry.
Or just turn the game off.
No, crying feels better.
Throwing it into the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So was this what? There's like this other level. That was what I was gonna say. There's like this escape scene, even like straight out of Metro games. Like there's like this maze kind of structure level. You have to go obviously to the right, but you climb like ladders and stuff. And there's even that blaring like annoying alarm where you have to escape.
Oh, yeah.
And every stage has like a timer or a limit. So I guess you die if you don't make it to the end. But you have like plenty of time anyway. So the first level that I played, you have like this memory where everything is. So you just pick everything up and take your sweet ass time, But yeah. So I don't know. Is there anything more to say about this game? I mean,
it's beautiful for being an 8-bit game. Yeah. I think it's very beautiful. It's like cinematically appealing.
Yeah, the cutscenes are cool.
Cool characters. It's a fun game. It's like, I think it's underrated. I remember because a couple of years back I got like an emulator from China, and that had
like a physical one.
Yes, and it had that game.
Yeah, Werewolf.
I thought it was Wearwolf.
Yeah, I think the Wikipedia says they call him like Warwolf.
Exactly.
But the Werewolf is like more logical, I guess.
But I remember it because I was playing it.
Well, technically it's called Ken, but that's even more confusing.
That's the puny human.
You don't talk about
punies.
Ken.
No, playing it on an old Chinese emulator was like, it's not the game I remember. And then you said it to me, like, let's play this. I think we had a couple of beers or whatever.
Yeah,
and I was like, this is not the game.
The case.
Yeah, exactly. And you were like, this is not the game. This is the Chinese version. I was like, well, really? It is? And then I got a good emulator, a Nintendo emulator. And I was like, oh yes. No, completely two completely different games because the other one was Chinese.
There's like this thing about Chinese stuff. There's like make it as cheap as possible, so don't expect it to work. And it probably broke. I think you said
makes you wonder though, like who sat down and made the changes. Maybe the programming or maybe the game.
Maybe even the emulating aspect of it. I don't know. It's hard. Is it like exactly like the game, or is it like a bootleg, or
exactly? That's what I don't know. Like. It feels like the old game. It's just it looks and touches you wrongly.
It doesn't feel good to hold the controller.
No, it doesn't. This game can treat you good, but that one day, it's
yeah.
No, but totally check out the game. That's what I would say if someone is interested. It has a kick-ass soundtrack too.
Yeah, we can go through the gameplay and stuff, and
sure.
So the gameplay is like an old school like stage select, whatever, not stage select, but you play stage 1 to 3, like you have bosses and stuff, and you're supposed to beat this bad doctor at the end. That's the plot, and the control, the D-pad moves the character. And A and B, if you tap those together, if you're a werewolf, you do this flip thing, and you can do the can shout no attack if you're human.
Yes, and if
by holding the attack button.
If you're a wolf, the main attack is his claws.
Yeah, obviously, and they're stronger.
Yes, but we didn't touch upon it. Like running around in a fucking game screaming no. It's like, well, don't play then. Fuck you.
Yeah, I don't know why there's like.
I think there's certain enemies that get like, they run away.
Yeah. Oh, they say like, or these kind of blue suit kind of enemies.
Yeah, the ninjas.
Or stop or whatever. They have guns.
Some of them do.
Yeah.
And the other ones have I don't know. They're like weaklings.
Yeah. Well.
Dreg.
Well, the graphics is an 8-bit game, obviously. It looks good. Really cool. And they have these cutscenes between fights and whatnot if you defeat a boss.
Yeah, as a kid you were like, well, even as an adult,
it's cool. It's cool. Yeah. And I don't know how they fit it into the cartridge, but, they're smart. So in sound of music, we talked a little about it. The game over, soundtrack is really nice, and there's like this other one that I don't think you heard this week. It's the Werewolf battle theme. So I'm probably gonna put this at the beginning of the episode. I always have like a
I've noticed that.
So it's like I get inspired by other podcasts, and it's like whatever. Those are good tracks. So
they are
Shogo Sakai, Takafumi, Minika, I think, Yusuke.
Those your friends?
Do you think I have friends? No, those are the composers, obviously.
The decomposers.
The decomposers of this game, sure.
Well, they should be decomposers now.
Yeah,
the game came out in like the 80s, right?
No, 1990. So,
really?
So it's like the NES had like a lifespan to 93, I think, and then this Super Nintendo is like 94. I think.
This game, Wearwolf, did they just get the one title?
Maybe they're different titles because I don't know.
Is there a sequel? I mean, like
I don't know. They probably put like a 2 at the end in that case, but I don't think so. I probably should have looked at that up too, but I've been sidetracked this week. I played a lot of Diablo 2 Resurrection.
Yes.
So I was like, I'm gonna play this as fast as I can, and I can play more. Yeah. So I gotta talk about that game next week. But
it looked so good. Good.
It looks awesome. So in conclusion, I wrote yes because I think this game is playable today. The only thing that's really a mindfuck, if that is like the swapping of the A and B button. And I think, as we said, it's like the PAL version and the American version. But the funny thing about the differences between PAL and TFC, the format, if you ever played like Mike Tyson's Punch-Out! And this is the thing, NTS and TFC games run faster than PAL. So if you play Mike Tyson's Punch-Out! on PAL, the timer actually goes down real seconds. But if you play on the NTFC version, the American version, it goes faster. It's like
count like in Schmeckens or
like
something else.
I think it's like the hertz, the refresh rate or whatever.
Yeah,
it's a little different, but it's kind of funny. Like we Swedes or whatever, Europeans and Australian, we got the easier version of games because they run slower, and
we're stupider.
Well. Depends on who you ask, but yeah, sure. Fucking Europeans. But that's the point. Like, and he made a reference to it on his show, his Twitch. He said like, well, imagine like Americans have their sports car, right? They always run faster. They're always supposed to be better and everything. We have Swedes or whatever Europeans have slower cars, the PAL cars. It's like this funny thing where, well, you don't need to have a fast car. And it's like, yeah, sure. I thought it was funny, but yeah. To wrap this up, is there anything else we can add to this, or is it just like fine?
No, I mean, it's an underrated game. It's cool. Yeah. Check it out. It's worth it. It's like a little gem in the 8-bit third pile, you know.
Yeah, it's an awesome looking game. So, anyway, thanks for listening and for watching, and take care.
Bye.